Howdy, y'all. That's stupid. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Strong and Uninformed Opinions. It's summertime. Y'all ready for it? I know I'm not. It's fucking hot here in Arizona. I'm fucking sick of it already, and it just started. Anyway, hopping on here because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. It's been a minute. Did you miss me? I missed you guys. So, we got this Elon and Trump rivalry, or now they hate each other, or some bullshit. I really don't know. I don't honestly care. Truthfully, I think it might all be just made up. I think that they might just be pulling this shit just so that way Elon gets separated from the stuff that he did with Doge, and that way Tesla can go and just operate on its own. That might be wrong. And then Trump also has a scapegoat where he could say, well, Elon did that when it comes to like cuts and things like that with the Doge stuff. Excuse me, I'm rolling up my sleeves because I think it was 100 and something out there today. I don't know what the fuck. It's hot. That's all I know. But anyway, I'm not 100% sure that this is on the up and up. It seems made up almost. That's my take. If it's not made up, people saw this kind of coming where it was a battle between two very powerful people who both wanted the spotlight. And how is that going to work when they both want the spotlight? I don't know. That being said, let's also talk about the Doge thing. They did not save as much money as they said they were going to. But the savings, a lot of times when people give you numbers, they kind of twist the numbers to make it in their favor. They did save, I can't remember the exact amount. It was like $200 billion. Don't quote me on that. Somewhere around there, though. Maybe 1.72, something like that. Or 172 billion, not 200 billion. It doesn't even matter. The truth is if they saved $15, I'm for it. But that over time is what they might have been giving the number of 2 trillion for. I don't know. It could also just be a fucking, another one of those fucking inflated claims that Trump is famous for. That being said, I am super glad that Elon is back to running Tesla because I've told you guys before, I think that Tesla is a very important company. So I do hope that the feud between Trump and Elon maybe isn't real. Because I think that the government and Tesla need to work together because Tesla has a lot of stuff coming. Forget the fucking cars. The cars are one thing, but Tesla has a lot of stuff in the pipe that it's like world-changing type shit. These robots they're making are going to literally be taking over everyone's jobs in a while. So, these are things that there needs to be a collaboration between Tesla and government and stuff like that. Plus, I also don't understand where everyone who was mad about Elon cutting government is now happy that Elon is fighting Trump because Elon wants more cuts to the government and Trump expanded government. What? This is what... I'm starting to think that if we do live in a simulation, that this is exactly where they put the fucking thing in there to see how many of us are actually just wild hypocrites. You can't have it both ways. You were mad when Elon was gutting government. Well, now Trump is not gutting government, and you still hate Trump, but you're back to liking Elon. What the fuck, people? That's another whole topic altogether. I think as a society, we're fucked. I think most people don't actually care about politics or the policies. They just want to seem like they care, or they want to seem like they have an opinion, which, in my opinion, which everyone wants to have one apparently, I don't see a lot of people being all that engaged in anything. It's more just like, that's what, when people talk about team sport politics, that's team sport politics. You don't actually give a shit about the team. You just want to be a part of something. Well, you don't actually give a shit about policy. You just want to be part of something and complain when your team complains, or When your team gets a win, you're happy. You don't even give a shit. Not everybody. I'm just saying, as a society in general. And we talked about that in the last episode, or maybe the one before that. I just think that American society is just completely screwed up. All right. So that's my 2 cents on that. I'm not 100% sure that it's even real. I mean, could you put it past them? I couldn't. I mean, Elon lost a ton of money today, but his stock is still way up from when it tanked. By distancing himself from Trump, he can actually make it so that he can just run Tesla, stock prices go up. You know, I think the test will be, is this a 1 or 2 day feud, or is this feud keep going? If the feud keeps going, then it might be real. If it's just a 1 or 2, then I don't think it's real. Then I think it's just enough to get people to say that Elon, he's not that bad a guy, even though what Elon wants is for way more spending cuts to like Medicare, Medicaid, all those things that everyone was so against. And then Trump didn't cut them in the big, beautiful bill, whatever the fuck they're calling it. And now you're still mad at Trump, but you're happy with Elon. I don't understand at all what is going on. Anyway, so that's the one thing there. Yeah, and that's a little weird. That's a little weird. So let's move on to Israel and Palestine. Okay, Israel. I think you had the moral high ground for a little bit and you have now lost it. Okay, if you want Hamas out, you need to stop dropping bombs and you need to literally just go in on the ground, special forces, go in there and just root them out. Stop dropping fucking bombs and missiles on Gaza. It's clearly not working, first off. I mean, and if it is working, now I have to question, like, what is your end goal? Is it just to, I mean, you've already obliterated Gaza, but if you really want Hamas out, then I think you're going to have to go in there and get them the fuck out. And that doesn't mean dropping bombs. That means maybe losing some of your soldiers. So how bad do you want it? But if that's what you want, you need to go in there and just actually take care of business, because now you are bordering, in my opinion, on the edge of nobody believing that this is even about October 7th. I think that's when Hamas attacked them. Because you guys are kind of going a little bit too hard here. And when I say going too hard, I mean you're just dropping bombs on rubble. If you really want Hamas gone, dude, pull some more of that pager shit. You know, I don't know if people know this, but Israel blew up a bunch of Hamas leaders and Hezbollah leaders by systematically giving them pagers and then like a year later blowing them up on these terrorist leaders because they knew that the terrorists weren't using cell phones, so they had to use pagers. So they made like a fake pager company and then blew up all the pagers. Now that's some diabolical shit. If you're trying to get rid of Hamas, that's the type of shit you need to be doing instead of dropping the bombs on just anyone who's standing in Gaza. I know that's a bit of a it's not really a reversal of my opinion, because I still think that Israel is justified in taking out Hamas. Now I'm criticizing how you're doing it. That's pretty much all. I think that if you really want them gone, then you might have to suffer a little bit, just like the people of Gaza, and go in there with your troops and house by house. And yeah, your guys are going to die, but you can't just, you're just dropping bombs on to drop bombs. And, you know, to another point, who the fuck are the ones paying for some of this shit? It's us. I'm tired of paying for your bombs. Okay? I think you need to figure this shit out. Now, on to the other subject, which is Russia and Ukraine. Does anyone think that Russia or Ukraine wants to stop this war? I feel like everybody else wants it to stop, and the two people involved have no interest in ending the war. Okay, so what exactly are we supposed to do about that? Like, You can only get between two people who want to box if those two people want to stop boxing. If their intent is to kill each other, I don't know what we're supposed to do about it. I don't want to arm either side. I don't want to back either side. But you also, I don't know what you're supposed to do to stop it. Neither of them seem like they're trying to stop it. They're talking about peace talks. And as soon as they talk about peace talks, boom, huge airstrike from Ukraine. Boom, huge missile and drone attack from Russia. These are not the actions of people who want to stop fighting. I think they want to fight. I think Zelensky wants to fight. I think Putin wants to fight. Oh, I got to get my shit right. Damn. Looking like a mess. It's hot out. What do you want from me, man? I didn't take the time to really spruce myself up. Although, how about this fucking hat? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I don't really see an end to that actually coming at all. And there's some criticism to, but Trump will always be at fault for being a loud, boisterous asshole. I don't know why anyone would expect anything else from him. So, war over day one, okay. No, it's not. All right. Now, let's get to the tariffs. It seems like we're always just talking about the same shit, but hey, I think we need to. The tariffs. We just hit $22 billion last month in collected tariffs. Now, I'm not saying tariffs are good, bad, whatever. I'm saying that is how much the Borders and Customs actually collected and gave to the Treasury Department, the Treasury Department, for collecting tariffs on goods coming into the United States. Whether you like the tariffs or not, that is the number, okay? That's a lot of money. I'll also say, everyone talking about the tax on the consumer, I'm positive it is a tax on the consumer. Prices are going to go up on stuff. However, I have yet to see it on almost anything. I just went and got groceries. They were way cheaper than they were last month. I buy shit off of Amazon all the time. Those prices haven't gone up from anything I buy, and a lot of it comes from China. I just was looking at a thing where they said that because car sales are so down, they're cutting the price of cars. Because I've told this to people before, if you're a business and you've got margins of like 700%, where you're making 700% profit off of something you're making, you will eat a 300% profit loss on those margins just so that you keep customers. You won't be making as much money, but you know what makes you no money? No customers. And if you keep rising, that's how everything is. You can't just keep raising prices. Eventually people stop buying it, okay? And if people stop buying it, then your business goes away because no one's going to pay that price for your product. So I think that's the part that a lot of people are missing is that a lot of these companies have massive profit margins. Massive. They make a shit ton of money off of something that costs them very little to make because they are making it in China. Labor costs are nothing. So this product, let's just give you an example. This product costs them $3 to make, but then they turn around and sell it to you for $250. Yeah, they have plenty of room to absorb the tariffs. It doesn't mean they want to, and it doesn't mean Wall Street's going to be happy. It doesn't mean the shareholders are going to be happy. But let me propose something to you. Who gives a fuck if they're happy? I own stock, and I am fully prepared to take that hit, knowing that they may make less money, and my stock might go down. But as a member of society, I would rather that than my stocks be high. Just saying. There's still signs of deflation everywhere. They just announced that there are more sellers than buyers of houses. That means inventory is going to go up. That means house prices should start to come down. I think they are coming down almost everywhere, truthfully. I know for a fact rent is coming down. Not a whole lot, but rent is coming down. So, I mean, this whole idea of it's a tax on the consumers, yes, and I think we will see some of that, but currently there is none. I have not seen prices go up on anything. Anything. Um, Fast food's getting cheaper. I noticed that actually the other day. There's a there's a meal for two at Taco Bell right now for $14. It used to cost $14 just for a meal for one. So places are bringing back dollar and value meals and things like that. We haven't seen those things in years. I know it sounds stupid, but those are signs of deflation. And that's when your money will be able to buy you more shit. So we don't need people getting paid $45 an hour. We need people getting paid $20 an hour, and $20 actually gets you what $20 used to get you. That's the solution, not giving people more money. You give people more money, the price will just keep going up. And then it's an even sum game. You're making $45 an hour, but all the shit you can get for $45 used to cost you $20. You haven't come ahead at all. Okay? You have to get the cost of the products down so that way your $20 can buy you more shit. So you hear a lot of stuff about all the tariffs and the negotiations and all that stuff. Here's the thing. I don't think, and we'll get into one other thing, this taco thing that I've been seeing where the Democrats are trying to now shame Trump into not being tougher on tariffs. Again, what the fuck? A month ago, you were mad that the tariffs were 150%. Now you're mad that Trump maybe brought those down. You have to understand that you need to be able to be flexible. Maybe Trump made him 150 to show him I'm not fucking around. Brought him to the table, which it did. Okay, talks blew up. That doesn't mean they're over with. But Trump made his position very clear. He is willing to tank the fucking economy to get these fucking tariffs and free trade actually leveled out. So in the end, no matter how much you hear all the noise and all that stuff, these tariffs will be less down the road. They will. The question is, how long will it take and how long before, us as the consumers feel that hit? That I ain't got a fucking clue. All I know is I have not seen it yet. This is actually the cheapest. I travel every summer because I cannot fucking stand being in Phoenix, Arizona all summer long. So I travel, and this is one of the cheaper travel seasons I've seen in a long time. Probably not since COVID. Everything is cheap. I rented a car for a week for $200, and it's like a small SUV. That would have easily been $400, $500 like a couple years ago. Why? Because demand is down. Less people are going to travel, therefore the prices are coming down. That's how a free market works. One thing's going up, one thing's going down, one thing's going up, and then all of a sudden it balances. And then that's what we want. But things are going to do this for a while. Okay. But just like I was about to say, you need to cut the noise out and think about that. 22 or however much, 20 or $22 billion was collected in just tariffs last month. That's a good fucking chunk of change. Okay. And if that's the case, tariffs probably are not a bad thing, but they need to be reasonable tariffs. And like I said, some companies have already announced that they don't plan on raising prices just because of the tariffs. And then you instantly get the whole they're just sucking up to Trump. I don't give a fuck what they're doing, as long as they don't raise the prices. You care about what they're doing. I care that they don't raise prices. That's what I care about. I actually care about my neighbor. You care about your team. And it's disgusting. And all of you need to stop doing it. Okay? We need to recognize that most companies have room for that. I mean, their job, CEOs and corporations' job is to make more money. Always making more money, making more money. Well, maybe they've overextended. Maybe they've made too much money, and maybe now they need to make a little bit less. And yeah, that may mean that stock prices are going to go down a little bit. But I don't care. You know, people can't have it both ways. They cannot be so against corporate America and all these things and the rich and the 1% and then get wildly annoyed when the things that actually are hurting the 1% and the this and the that happen. You know, I understand and I preached it that, like your grandparents, they're the ones who are going to suffer when their 401ks go down and all that stuff. It's totally true. But in the long game, they're going to be so much better off if we can actually get things back to normal around here, even if it means that their 401k needs to go down for a little bit, which we all watched it go down. I made more money back in the last month than I lost the previous month. So I don't know what to tell you. There's always opportunity out there. Like I said, up and down, and then boom, this is what we want, okay? So that's my take on it. We got another episode coming. Me and Chris are going to sit down, I think, next week and put that together for you. Should be a good one. I know me and him have got some differing opinions on some of these things that are going, so there'll be a good back and forth. And again, these are my opinions. I am not trying to convince you of anything. I'm just giving you what I see and my perspective. And my perspective changes. Kind of just how like Trump is chickening out, which that's what I want. The taco thing, Trump always chickens out. So they're eating tacos and saying that Trump is chickening out on the tariffs. And it's like, dude, get your fucking shit together. Like, do you want him to tariff the fuck out of everyone? Or do you not want tariffs at all? Do you hate Elon Musk because he's a Nazi? Or do you only hate Elon Musk because he's a Nazi because he was working for Trump? Dude, you got to have some sort of actual, like, I don't know, like position on policy and things like that. It can't just be, I don't like this guy, because you just look stupid when it's always just like, well, Trump's doing that, so I don't like it. Well, Trump is the one who didn't blow up Medicare and didn't blow up Social Security. Isn't that what you wanted? Elon is completely pissed that he didn't do it. You should, I don't know. And then there's me. I'm actually for blowing it all the fuck up. So technically, I'm a little bit more on Elon's side than even Trump's. I'll just say it. I think everything needs to be burnt to the ground and then built back up. Okay? Trump doesn't want to do that. What do you want? That's how it works. You don't always get what you want. I'm not getting what I want. Elon's not getting what he wants. Technically, a lot of you are getting exactly what you wanted, which is they're not cutting the programs that you were so worried they were going to cut. But you're still mad. Makes my fucking head want to explode. All right, well, I know for a lot of the country, summer is not technically here yet, but like I said, here in Arizona, it is absolutely here. And it's fucking hot in this room because I do something called super cooling here in the desert. I don't even know if the rest of the country does this. So we have peak hours with electricity. And between 4 and 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I don't remember exactly, is the most expensive time to use energy. So what you do is in the morning, you turn your AC all the way down and you turn your house into a fucking ice box. And then when peak hours come, you turn off your AC. And it's a little hot in here right now because we're in peak hours, but I don't have an AC on. And I wouldn't say it's monstrously uncomfortable. I would just say that I'm getting worked up. So when I get worked up, I'm getting a little warm. So I want to end this because I'm getting hot and I'm getting a little warm. But for those of you in Arizona, try the super cooling. I save at least $200 a year by doing this. That's not even a fucking joke. I mean, you got to be on top of it, but if you have those fancy thermostats you can turn on, turn off, use the cell phones and whatnot to do it, you should totally do it. Because, I mean, yeah, turns the house into an icebox for part of the day, but I like that. And then the rest of the day, you hover at around 77 degrees, which for some of you is exactly what you want. Me personally, I'm more of a 74, 75 type of guy. But if you don't use power during peak hours, that means no pool pumps and don't do your laundry at that time, all those things, turn off all the lights, you will save a ton of money. So that's my little tip for all of you living in Arizona. I guess you could do that anywhere, but that actually matters around here. Plus, running your AC during peak hours when it's the hottest out, you're going to destroy your AC way quicker. So that's another little hit. If you don't have your AC running constantly at the hottest parts of the day where it can't even keep up, you're going to save your compressor a lot of work. Anyway, Jeff Gulino, strong and uninformed opinions. We're moving into summer. I can't wait. Actually, that's a lie. I don't want anything to do with summer. But I do want to say that I am stoked to be traveling. I'm going to go hit up Sacramento and go see some of my friends and go tattoo out there. I'm also, I'm doing something I've never done before, and I'm kind of excited about it. Like I said, I rented a car, and me and one of my buddies, we're just going to get in the car and go. We don't have a destination. We don't know where we're going. We're just going to drive this fucking car wherever the fuck we want, and we've got a week and a half to do it. I'm kind of excited about this. We also made a rule that we have to stay in roadside hotels. So no hotels over $60, $70. They can't be good hotels. They need to be just literally roadside pieces of shit. So I'm kind of stoked about this. We're thinking maybe we're going to do the Route 66, but it goes through a lot of towns that I don't give a shit about. But it also ends up in Chicago. So we don't know. I don't know where I'm going. It's going to be an adventure. It's going to be cool. All right. Strong and uninformed opinions. See you guys next time. We'll see you next week. Me and Chris doing an episode. Should be a lot of fun. I always have a good time talking with Chris. I always have a good time talking with you guys. So leave a comment down below. Tell me how stupid I am and how tariffs are ruining everything. And I don't know. Tell me your opinion. I like hearing people's opinions. If I don't hear other people's opinions, how am I supposed to tell you that you're wrong? I'm kidding. You could be right. Try to convince me. Not that I'm anyone worth convincing, but whatever. Strong and uninformed opinions. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you soon. You guys have a good one.